morning everybody, it's Carrie and welcome back to another video. I have not done a vlog in so long, so let's see if I can actually remember to get this done because half the time I do start recording but then I never finish. I'm currently in the process of actually updating my website, and so by the time this video comes out, my website will be completely updated. I know that's not super important to people who probably watch these videos because you guys probably also crochet, but I also have all of my eyes on my website now, and I'll be adding some more eyes once I get through this market. I've kind of been pushing a lot of things off till I get through the market, so new eyes will be added, but I already have eyes. And speaking of eyes, I already have one order packed up. It was for a giveaway. I'll show it on screen and I'll show you guys the other order. I know you guys can't see them super well because they are in the bag, but we have all of these eyes. So the top one is Starlight, and then we have Candy, Caramel, Sugar Plum, and Nightfall, and these are all 20s. So I'm sending out this order today as well. And then my giveaway eyes that I participated in, which was 30mm Nightfall. I feel like if people buy eyes, it's typically Nightfall or Aqua, which honestly, those are the eyes that I kind of use the most. So I 100% understand it. So I got those two eyes and I'm going to be shipping out today. So this morning is May 28th. I have a lot of things going on, a lot of custom work that I'm doing right now, but I'm currently getting ready to weigh this package. This is the first of my website orders that I'm getting out for plushies. This is a whale shark. I know a lot of people ship their plushies in poly mailers, but I'm not really comfortable with that. I think it's like anything, it is of course a personal decision, but for me personally, I'm not comfortable shipping anything plushie wise in poly mailers. I feel like at least with the box, there's a lot more separating the plushie from like the outside world versus I can't tell you how many times I have gotten in a poly mailer and then they've been like shredded, and I'm not doing that. I want to make certain my plushies get to the person as good as possible because yeah, I remember getting things that have been like messed up and it has like destroyed my life. So I'm not going to do that. So on this person actually, I think I've mentioned this before. If I have not, I will tell you guys that when it comes to doing shipping labels and everything, I'm gonna test your calls and they keep messaging. In terms of doing shipping for my business, I usually get my shipping labels through Pirate Ship. I know you can get them through Squarespace, which is what I use for my website and everything, but I end up using Pirate Ship because it honestly typically ends up being like cheaper. I have it set up where it ships out of my PO box opposed to my personal address, so it ends up working out great. I wish all boxes came with measurements on them because it really does make life like that much easier. This is a lot bigger of a box. 8, 6. All right, everybody. I honestly can't remember where my video cut off because it got so loud and I was just like, bye Felicia. But it is now the afternoon. It's now 8 o'clock. We are in the crochet room. Sloan ended up having to have his feet done today, which took about 2 hours. So I'm a little bit behind. It's amazing how working on so many large plushies just like really puts me behind. I'm not crying, you are. Here is the progress I've made. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I did get commissioned to create a plushie of a company's logo. I'll insert the photo here. Originally I was supposed to make 4, but I was given a really short turnaround, so I ended up only doing 1 and then saying that I could do the remaining 3 later. I was supposed to do it after Mother's Day because I was supposed to have my market on Mother's Day weekend. Of course, that market got canceled, or it got postponed, I should say, to Memorial Day weekend. I hadn't heard anything from the company for like 3 weeks if they were still interested in getting the remaining 3 done. And finally yesterday they did contact me saying that they were still interested in the remaining 3. So I have to still make the remaining 3 edgies as well. So yesterday I got 2 of the bodies done. As you guys can see, they're really just basically a ball. I got 2 arms done right here. I still have to make another one of these. And then besides that, I've got the feet, arms, horns. And then honestly what I would say is the most tedious process is the felt eyes and the felt smile. It's actually quite complicated. I want to have those done by this weekend, and I also want to have this order completed by this weekend. I'll show you guys the first part of this order. So the first thing I have is a shiny Umbreon. This is a pattern by Pebbles Crochet. This is made out of Honey Bunny. When I look at the black from Sweet Snuggles Light, it's just amazing the difference, because this is like such perfect clear yarn, like no fuzz. And I swear all the remaining black I have from Chanel Home Slim is all like really fuzzy. And so I have Umbreon. The difference, of course, being the shiny is it's not yellow, it's blue. And then I also looked online and saw that the normal Umbreon has red eyes, which I did for my Umbreon. And then I went with just solid kind of gold eyes for him, because it looks like the shiny Umbreons had gold eyes. So I got him done. For the same order, I got this Toothless done. I don't know if you can tell the texture. It's not bad, but it almost comes off a little bit more velvet than it does like a smooth Chanel. But I have Toothless. He's got his green eyes. This is also a pattern by Pebble. And the last thing that I need to make for this order, just got Night Fury done. The last thing that I need to make for this particular order is Light Fury. I'm uncertain if I'll get started on it tonight. I might. I'll have to make the decision. I try and only crochet Light Fury when I'm upstairs and I've taken a shower and I'm in like clean clothes, not anything that's been to the barn, just since Light Fury is a solid white, and my biggest fear in life is crocheting white plushies because I'm so afraid of getting it dirty. I'm so scared of crocheting solid white plushies. So I'm not certain. I might go ahead and start her, because really the last thing I need to complete this order is the Light Fury. And this is one of my orders that has been pending for a little bit. So I feel like it would be really good to get it done. I already have the eyes painted and everything. So it's literally just crocheting Light Fury. So I might get started with that, because the edgies I gave him like this weekend, and I could focus on that for the next couple days. Besides that, I also want to show you guys, I ended up selling my little Jolteon. This is another pattern by Pebbles Crochet, and these eyes right here are Sugar Plum on my website. Absolutely, I think one of my favorite eyes. I love the purple. It's like a really rich, beautiful, deep purple with these color changing little pieces of glitter, and they color change like light blue, silver. I think it's so pretty. I did this in my Kato Dragon. Love it. I got so many compliments on these eyes. The market I went to, this eye and then I believe Aqua were the two that like people just absolutely loved, which is so funny because I would probably say Aqua, Sugar Plum, and Nightfall are my personal favorites. Like, I just feel like they're good solid eyes that I pretty much use for everything. I want to add the Night Fury and I want to add my red eyes, but I was originally thinking about making a full like new collection, but it's really hard because I don't really have the time to like necessarily do that. So I was thinking about just making Night Fury and Light Fury eyes, the same ones that I would make on my plushies with the glitter. I'm definitely more of a person who likes glitter in my eyes opposed to some people like the smooth, I think it's mica powder. I definitely like chunks of glitter. Like, I like the color changing aspect. I just like all that. But needless to say, Jolteon did come with me to the market this weekend. He, of course, did not sell, but I had somebody on TikTok reach out to me and want to purchase him. So he got purchased today. I need to take his tag off and get him all just like cleaned up. Luckily he didn't get dirty or anything, but I need to get him packaged up tomorrow morning because he is going to Puerto Rico. I mean, like, honestly, that's like the coolest thing ever. My first ever international order. I cannot believe it. Absolutely insane. I'm gonna get him prepped tomorrow because I have been doing like pack videos when I have orders online that I pack up for shipping. So I have him set aside for tomorrow. Besides that, I have a good deal of custom works, everything that still needs to be done. Let me tell you guys, pending orders on my website are the Light Fury Umbreon and Night Fury. And then I have an awesome Clubs the Clown that I'm gonna actually be doing. I'm so excited for this one. This is actually from a YouTube subscriber, and I have been so excited to make this. When I first got contacted by them, I was just like freaking out over it and I was still freaking out over it. I'm so excited to make it. It's for clubs, and this one we're going for a white, black with some gray accents, but very like gothic Victorian clown, and I think it's gonna turn out so good. I am so excited to start it. But I want to get these guys done first because they of course were ordered like a week and a half before. After that, I have a little capybara, which should make like, it should take me no time to complete that because it's just one of my small plushies. And then my other pending order is my Jolteon, but luckily he is already made and everything. Outside of my actual website, I do have a good deal of orders that I also need to complete. I got paid today for a deer that I need to do. I'm supposed to be doing a horse commission again, but I'm really trying to find a good skein of terracotta from Sweet Snuggles Light or Chanel Home Slim, because I do technically have some terracotta left, but it is quite literally the stiffest yarn I have ever worked with. And I would use a different color, but this person has already purchased the plushie from me and they want it to be like same style, same everything, so I can't really use like Honey Bunny because it's gonna turn out way smaller than it did with the Chanel. So I'm trying to find a decent thing of Chanel Home Slim. We're gonna see how that goes. And I have that one, and then I have another couple of like 2 or 3 big orders. Constantly something. Come on, guys. You know I like to stay busy. And I have so many pattern tests, guys. Let me read off the pattern tests that I have. I didn't realize I signed up for so many. So the first pattern test I have, of course, is for Pebbles. Absolutely love all of her patterns. I can't say no. I just love them all. And that is for her Ampharos. It's a Pokemon. Don't quote me on that. I have that one. I got picked to test a Hooked on Toast pattern, which I had made her Tofu the cat previously before on my own. This time I got asked to test Maple and Pecan, and that's her Fox and her Fawn. And I have to have that one done by June 9th. I'll say it's May 28th when I'm recording this. I also got picked to test a Fox, Wolf, and possibly the deer. It's not necessary. I mainly picked the Fox and the Wolf, so that one is also due June 9th. So right now I have those main 3 ones, and then I did apply for a couple more. Look, when I saw the tester call for this one, like, guys, I literally could not say no. Look, that is the craziest thing I've ever seen. If I got picked for this one, this would be by far the most intricate thing that I have made. I really like the whole like Egyptian vibes. I applied to be in this one, who knows? And then of course, if you guys don't know, I really enjoy watching some crochet YouTubers, and Robin is one of them, or Robin. She has Sweet Beans Crochet, and she posted her tester call for her Sailor Moon, which I was already hoping that I was gonna apply for it and that I would have time, because I remember watching on her vlog when she was actually talking about like creating the Sailor Moon thing. I really wanted to do that. I've never made a Sailor Moon. I have wanted to make a Sailor Moon, so it felt like a perfect excuse to apply to it, because I was like, oh, how fun would it be if I could test her pattern, and it'd be my first one. So I applied for that one as well. So potentially having 5 testing calls and as well having all these orders, and I'm currently having to do even more work with the fun things. So I don't think I talked about this. As you guys know, I am currently in the process of introducing a completely new yarn line. I feel like at this point I'm fairly confident, everything is happening, the ball is rolling, so I feel a lot better about talking about things with the yarn, so I will be disclosing some of those things for you guys today. So the yarn is actually on its way here, or getting ready. It is in the port waiting to be loaded up, but it will actually ship out to come to the United States on the 31st. It's the 28th, so in 3 days it will be heading over to the US. Now, the actual shipping time from port to port is quite long. I think they give you a range of like 30 to 45 days. And then, you know, by the time it gets here, it needs to sit, it goes through customs. And then once it passes from customs, it will actually get shipped to my location. All in all, I think we were thinking that the yarn would get here July 18th. So I probably would be looking at launching the yarn potentially a week after that. I have 12 initial colors that you guys will be able to choose from, and they are just kind of like your basic good colors. I definitely want to expand this if everything goes well. Like I said, a lot of things is just going to be like, how is this received? How does it do? Because it is a ton of money to invest. And of course, also I think with the tariff situation, it's gonna really depend on what deals are made in the future, if I'm able to do like another reorder, or if I have to wait a while. That's kind of gonna be up in the air with the tariffs. But there will be 12 base colors. We're gonna have a red, we're gonna have an orange, blues, browns, blacks, whites, all the good things just to get started. And then I just wanna go expand it. I wanna have pastels. I wanna have beautiful, rich, vibrant colors, kind of like what you would see with like Premiere. Like I just wanna have all of the colors, but it will take time to get there. So I hope everyone will enjoy the original 12. And then if everything goes well, when I do my next order, I will probably just go ahead and order 24 new colors, or 24 colors in total, I should say. The yarn name is going to actually be called, drumroll, Naughty Pony. If you guys are following my Instagram, I had a close friend story that I posted a ton about the yarn and everything, asking for opinions, asking people what names they liked best. Naughty Pony was one of the ones that kind of got towards the end, and there was a few other ones, some things like Hooves and Hues, just stuff like that. I started to sit down and I really thought, like, at the end of the day, would that necessarily, like, you would have to kind of know horses super well to get some of the things. And I was trying to think of like the average person probably wouldn't necessarily like understand some of the inside stuff. Like you would have to be like a horse person to kind of figure out things. I knew that I wanted to carry over pony because of Traveling Pony Studios. As you guys know, if you've been watching my videos forever, Traveling Pony Studios was made because of Sloan. And it was originally the Traveling Pony, which was a blog and podcast that I made in the equestrian world. I interviewed farriers, vets, professionals in the industry, and I did blogs, I did podcasting with them, and that's how I made the Traveling Pony, because Sloan was hurt. I was not working much at all, and I was in a very depressed just state that I needed something to do, and it kept me busy for a while. And then I ended up switching over to doing crochet. I knew I wanted to carry Traveling Pony Studios over and keep it still based around Sloan. I kind of had this idea all along that I wanted pony in the name for the yarn, and I also wanted it to be somehow tied to Freya, because I felt bad having two horses and everything always being about Sloan. I feel like people see Sloan so much that they forget that I have a whole nother horse that actually was like literally born at my house, and I think that she just gets overshadowed a little bit. So I knew I wanted the yarn line to be somehow connected to her. I was up here crocheting. My mother was sitting across from me, and I can see Freya and Two Bits' pasture from my window. I don't know if you can see, but I could see it. And I was talking to my mother, and we were both looking out the window. Freya was being so bad to Two Bits. She was just being mean, she was running around, she was being stupid, and I was like, she is so bad. She is so naughty when she does that. And both me and her looked at each other and we were like, okay, we've got it. Of course, I changed naughty, of course, not like naughty being bad, to of course naughty like yarn and everything. And that's basically how I ended up deciding to do Naughty Pony. I wanted pony, I wanted to be tied to Freya, and Freya is just a sassy little girl, and it made the most sense. I'll include a photo, of course, of my logo. I had my logo also designed by the amazing Sign Sites, who did my original logo for Traveling Pony Studios, because Naughty Pony is just an extension of Traveling Pony Studios, but Traveling Pony Studios is still the broad brand, I guess you could say. And I wanted it to still tie in, so we had the same colors, because as you guys know, I'm a gray, blue type of person, black, like those are my colors. And so I wanted it to still tie in. I still wanted the bubble letters. For the actual logo and yarn label itself, I didn't want something that was like too over the top because of the fact that I know personally with my yarn labels, I never keep them. Like, I always end up just ripping and throwing it away. So I definitely didn't want to do anything that I had to spend tons of money designing and just like putting all this time for it to literally be trashed immediately. So I ended up going for a simpler design, carrying over the shoes from my original logo over to this logo, and I'm super happy with how it turned out. I think it's so cute. I think that if you know Traveling Pony Studios and you see Naughty Pony's logo, you'll probably be able to make somewhat of a connection between them, which I think is great. But alongside doing customs, alongside doing orders, I of course have been working on Naughty Pony, because while it is May 28th, that might sound like it's like forever away, but for me it really is not. With how busy and hectic and chaotic my life is, days really go by super fast. With that being said, I do need to do a lot of clearing out of my office in my barn. That's probably where I'm going to be running Naughty Pony out of in a small scale. I still would have to get a storage facility, store the yarn there, but my hope is to have enough yarn here where that if I can get an order, I can literally walk out my door, walk over there, package up the order. I can ship things out really quick because it is close, like literally outside my door. In my house, it won't be as much stress as me having to drive somewhere and make a big deal out of leaving my house. And then when I run out of yarn, I'll be able to go to the storage facility, grab the boxes I need, bring it back here. I just think in the end it's gonna be better, especially when I'm starting and just trying to figure out what in the world I'm doing, to have everything close to my house so I don't stress myself out even more. So I think for the rest of the night, after talking to you guys, I'm gonna record a TikTok really quick, and then I am probably gonna get started on the Light Fury, because of course I want to get this order out. It's been pending for about 2 weeks and my processing time is 3 weeks. So let's get started on Light Fury. Salon. What? Oh. What do you think? Was that good? Was that good? Huh? There you go, guys. Cat! Hey, no digging. No digging. Oh my gosh. This is gonna be the new thing. Bo, no digging. No digging. Do you see the camera? Looky. No! No digging. You're so sweet. You're so sweet. Look at them. My troublemakers. Cass! It's Cass. Short for Castiel. That's Luke. Short for Luke. Bo. What? Oh my gosh. Bo. Look, they got dirt all over me. Hi, Bo. Yes. Look, this isn't even all the dogs. Alright guys, because you saw my other dogs earlier, this is Sky, this is Loki. If you guys have been here a long time, you would actually know that Loki is the one that was hurt last year. And basically, my one dog, Cass, was playing too rough with him and he slipped a disc in his like neck or back or something. And he had to have extensive surgery to get it fixed. Sky is the calmest dog we have. So Sky and Loki go out together now, and they're like best buds because Sky doesn't like all the roughhousing. She still goes out with the other dogs, but she likes Loki best. And Loki has a friend. But yep, Loki is the one that had to have surgery, and you would have never known that the surgery would do so well because we were actually gonna have to put him down, but he's all better now. They're just like two cuddle bugs. Well, everybody, I wanted to come on and check in. It is now the 31st of May. I am trying to do a thumbnail for a video. I actually uploaded a video for once today, but it was old footage. I have so many videos that I've started and then just have not actually completed. That's honestly the biggest issue with me for recording, is I never complete them. I do have some pattern tests this week. So far, I have the body done of this guy. I still need to make like the head and everything, but I need to paint eyes, and typically what I end up doing is I like make every part except the head. I typically make that last. I like to see what eyes I need to paint, and it's not super common that I follow the eye recommendation. I feel like a lot of patterns I end up going up a size, so I'd rather get everything else done and then I make the head, I figure out the eyes, then I go paint the eyes, and then I can finally finish the project. I do have this commission that I'm working on. This is for the deer. This is what I have so far. I still need to embroider the spots, and then same thing. Essentially, I need to make the head, do the eyes for this one, except since this is a custom, I need to send over the eyes once I finish painting them. They want pink and purple eyes because I'm actually going to be doing a pink and purple flower crown to go on top of the deer's head. I think I'll probably paint them tonight is what I'm hoping. I'm gonna paint eyes because I have quite a few pattern tests that I need to finish up that need eyes, and I have quite a few plushies that I need to finish up that have eyes as well. I did get my big order. I don't know if I've mentioned this to you guys, for my edgy monsters. This is actually for a company, and I originally did one like 4 weeks ago, and then I just finished up the 3 that I still needed to complete. So here are 2 of them, and then this is the 3rd one. Basically, I need to go back through and just do some touch-ups with the felt. I definitely want to say I don't dislike working with felt, but it's not like my go-to. I definitely prefer a safety eye look opposed to felt. So I usually still end up going back through and then just like cleaning things up because there's always like fuzzies, and then I feel like sometimes felt kind of like grabs onto other materials like the fuzz. So I still need to go through and clean that up. The person's off work and typically I don't hear from them until the beginning of the week. I decided I'll wait a little bit until I get a for sure day when they'll be picking up the edgies, or I guess I should say when I'm driving out over to their place. As well, I'm getting ready to start the clown. Let me show you guys what colors the person wanted. I do still have the yarn attached because I didn't know if they would like this particular color of gray, and I didn't want to cut things and do all that type of stuff and then them come back and say they didn't like it. So this is the vibe that we are going for. White is actually going to be the main color. Black is going to be the secondary accent, and then this gray is going to be the other one. So now that I've gotten the clear for the colors, I've already sent out the sketch and everything with where the colors are gonna go, I can definitely dive fully into this. I don't love like working with white plushies. It's always one of the scariest things in the world because I don't want them to get dirty. So I always work on plushies that have white upstairs because it's a lot cleaner than my downstairs. Also, I always work with them after I've taken a shower, clean clothes. Like I won't work with white yarn or on a white plushie after I've been out to the barn or if like my hands are dirty. Like I like to be completely clean, and I've taken a shower, so, and I'm changed out of my riding attire for the day. So I am gonna get started on this once I finish editing the thumbnail and then get the video out. So I'm super excited to get started on this clown. This clown is one of the last website orders I have, and then also I've mentioned this person multiple times, Sarah with Loops and Knots. If you guys don't follow her on YouTube or her Instagram, make sure you do. She has such good content. I watch it all the time. I comment on all the time. You might see me. And she also does a lot of tutorials as well as she has really good patterns. Like I'm a huge fan of her patterns. She's definitely becoming a person that like anytime she releases a pattern, I buy it if I'm not pattern testing it. Like I absolutely love her work and it's really stunning. She has really good crochet techniques. Like I really like hers because it's like the tight stitches. It's just everything that like I want my work to be. But she ended up actually purchasing a plushie for me, which I think is so crazy. I've never had that happen before where another crochet person purchases for me. So I was so excited. So I got to get her order out as well, and I'm gonna throw in some special goodies because I know that she started to use some safety eyes and everything. So I figured tonight when I'm gonna paint my other safety eyes, I'll go ahead and paint a few pairs for her because I love to give my stuff to other people. Like when people order so many eyes, I throw in free pairs. I try and do things like that when I can. So especially since I know she crochets, I'm gonna paint a couple pairs and I'll show you guys. It'll probably be my most popular ones, or at least the colors that I like the most, which would be Nightfall because that one's just iconic for me, Aqua, and then probably Sugar Plum is what I'll paint for her. Alrighty everybody, it is now the 2nd and technically it is Monday, so today will be the last day that I'm going to be recording, and I'm actually going to end the recording here in the morning so that I can pick up recording in the afternoon, hopefully. But I want to come on here because I'm packaging up orders. Typically I package up orders in the morning so then I can drop them off if I have to go in person around lunchtime, or if somebody's going out. It's really easy if they're packaged up in the morning and they can just swing by somewhere. Or some of these orders I can just drop in my mailbox for USPS. A lot of time I orders I can drop off in the mail, and then some of the plushies, it really just depends on how big of a box I need to use. Like I've been able to get away with doing some of them, like the capybara because it's small, but then like other things like the toothless or like larger orders, I do have to actually go in person and drop it off. But since I always buy my shipping labels online on Pirate Ship, it's really like takes no time. You can also drop off USPS packages in my area at Up stores, and I have it up super close to me, so it's never really a big deal. But I want to show you guys some of the orders I'm getting out this morning. The first one I have is an Etsy order for a pair of eyes, and this is to Lydia, and she got Nightfall in 25. I've said this multiple times, a Nightfall and then Coral are definitely like the two that I end up painting a lot. Starlight is another one that is super popular just because it's a really pretty gold one, but Nightfall is definitely very popular. It's got some of these shifting things with a black background. So this pair is going out to her as well. I also have to pack up Sarah's package, which if you guys don't know, I've mentioned this before, that is Sarah with loops and knots. I actually this morning just applied to one of her pattern tests for her cat, so I'm super excited about that. But she ended up getting this. She ended up getting this little flower right here, the pink one. I have both a pink and lavender option. She wanted to get the pink one, so I'm gonna get this packaged up. And then as well, because I know she is getting into doing like plushies with safety eyes and everything, I'm also gonna send her just 2 pairs of eyes that I had. So another one of the Nightfall and 30 millimeters. And then of course I did Coral and 30. I felt like I should give her the 2 basic ones that I feel like can really go with like most plushies. There's definitely certain eyes that I have that I feel like need to go with like a specific plushie, like the clown eye, some of the red eyes I've done. Sugar Plum I absolutely love, but I feel like you definitely have to really like purple and like have a reason to use it. So I'm also gonna give Sarah those 2 eyes with her little flowers, so I'm gonna get those packed up. As well, I want to come on here and show you guys the 2 pattern tests that I did end up finishing technically in the same pattern, but I had to complete 2 of them for this test. This pattern is by Snuggle Beans Crochet. She's releasing a lot, and I think there's like a bunny that I want to do, but I was selected to do the fox, wolf, and deer. I've only had time to do the fox and wolf, so technically I have done my 2. I don't know if I'll get around to doing the deer. It honestly just depends on timing because it is the 2nd. Those pattern tests close on the 9th, and I have another one that is due on the 9th, plus I ended up getting into another one last night, but it's for something super small and it's like a no-so, so there's only a week to do that one, but I'm not too worried about it. So I will show you guys these, and these guys have different eyes. Like I tried the different powder I think I mentioned to you guys. So let's see how you guys like it, because I don't offer them, but I mean, I guess if people liked it, I could start offering these eyes. So the first one I have is this fox right here. This is a pretty easy pattern. I think the only sewing I did was ears and then the head to the neck, but like all the body pieces are crocheted into the body. Here are the different eyes that I ended up doing. So this one doesn't have a lot of color shifting, but it does have a lot of like shimmer, I guess you could say. to it. I ended up doing 30 millimeters. I definitely feel like I've mentioned this before, I do tend to go up larger, and especially if it's a pattern for like me, like I'm making a plushie for myself and not for like an order. I do play around with the eye sizes. I definitely prefer larger eyes. I guess that like kawaii cute look is what I prefer opposed to like the small eyes. So I have this one. I feel like these eyes could be super pretty for like Night Fury. So maybe I will end up making the Night Fury and Light Fury eyes and having this be Night Fury. I don't know. And then I'll show you the wolf. Here is the wolf. So the wolf was actually the first one that I ended up making, and I did end up having the eyes a little bit further apart. I don't really think it makes that huge of a difference. That guy has his eyes closer. This one has more space between his eyes. Honestly, I feel like eye placements I never get correct like 100% of the time. They always change with every plushie I make. So this is this guy. I ended up going for a dark gray, and this is by Honey Bunny. I can't remember what this is, but it's definitely darker than your standard gray. And here is the wolf. Now his eyes have a lot of color changing to them. Same thing, this kind of like, it's not chunky glitter, it's more like a powder. Like it's definitely got, I'm trying to see, it definitely has texture. It's really hard to see in my light. You see, like it definitely has this color shift. Oh, his head's just falling back. Texture, the good thing about these guys is you can have them two options. You can stuff their heads and sew them so they can like sit. I definitely didn't want that. I wanted it to be more of this type of situation. It's a lot easier for me when I'm at markets to have these guys laying down opposed to sitting up, even though I think these guys might sit up fine, but you know, with wind and everything, I always prefer a plushie that I know is just gonna lay flat. So I also have this guy. I absolutely love these eyes. I'm definitely gonna be painting more eyes like this for myself. But let me know what you guys think of these eyes. Like, should I be offering this too? It's not a chunky glitter, but it definitely still has a texture. So I got these two done for the pattern test. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna pack up these orders. I did go ahead and record one video with these guys. I'm gonna record another video for the packaging orders and everything. And that's basically how I'm gonna leave this week's video. It's probably plenty long for my first vlog back. And then the next vlog, we will work on completing my open orders for my website, my Club's a Clown. I just need my Honey Bunny shipment to come in because I need some yarn from them. I have quite a few other pattern tests that we need to complete. So I'll see you guys next time, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I hope you guys have a lovely rest of the day. Bye!